Let's get to Chris Wallace now. He's the anchor of Fox News Sunday. Hello, Chris.
Hey, how are you, Shep?
I'm well, thank you. So with this whole Trump thing has been an act. You know, so often people act more moderate than really they are. Sometimes they, tone things down just for perception. If what we're hearing now is the case, he's ratcheted it up as part of a show. Do you buy it?
No, I don't, and certainly I don't think that's what Paul Manafort, Trump's new top advisor, meant. In fact, I just got off the phone with Manafort, and what he's saying is that the way he would put it, as Colonel McShane just talked about, Trump is going to be at a big rally, and that he acts one way at a big rally when he gives a foreign policy speech on Wednesday here at the National Press Club. He's going to act a different way. It doesn't mean that one is a performance and the other isn't. It just means that in different circumstances, as he put it, you don't wear a tuxedo to a picnic. But he says it's all the real Trump, and that there's no acting involved at all in Trump's performance so far in this campaign.
You know, I was listening yesterday to the Cavuto show, and I heard Sean Hannity tell Cavuto that he thinks that he has reason to believe, though he wouldn't be specific, that there's all kinds of backroom stuff going on, and that at the convention we're all going to be really surprised, and it's not going to be a Trump runaway. That was sort of Sean's position. I wonder if you can shed any light on any of this.
I didn't have the benefit of listening to that. No, look, I think it's fairly out in the open. Trump needs to get to the magic number of 1237. One way to do it would be to win the delegates in the primaries. If he doesn't get there, and he probably or may not, by June 7th, rather, when California and New Jersey vote, then he's got 41 days, almost exactly 6 weeks, between the end of the primaries and the beginning of the convention to try to make up the difference, to get from wherever he is, probably over 1,000 delegates, to 1237. And, that's perfectly legal. It's the rules that he's been arguing about, but in fact, sometimes the rules benefit him, and then he likes them, and when they don't benefit him, he doesn't like them.
How do you see this next week shaping up?
Well, I think Trump's going to do very well. We're talking about northern states, northeastern states, some mid-Atlantic states, but eastern states. And that, as we saw in New York, they like Trump a lot in those states. They don't like Ted Cruz very much at all. Then the primary map will switch out the week after that to Indiana, which could be tougher for Trump and better for Cruz. But I would think on this, what is now being called Super Tuesday 3, when 5 eastern states vote this coming Tuesday, I would think Trump will do very well.
When you look at the calendar and the rules state by state for proportional delegate handing out, do you see the math there is good for him? Would you give it a percentage now on whether Trump's going to clinch this thing?
No. I think it's unlikely that, as I say, that he'll get to 1237 by the end of the primaries. But I think he's going to be pretty close, whether it's 100 votes or 150 votes. And there are that many unpledged delegates out there. As Connell just mentioned, there are going to be 54 delegates in Pennsylvania next week. Even no matter who wins the primary, let's say Trump gets 60%, 54 of the 71 delegates are unpledged. So if Trump can make a pitch to them that, he's the guy they should go with, he won the state, he's their best chance of winning in November, he's going to try to pick those up. And obviously Kasich and Cruz are going to work against him on that. So my guess is that those 41 days between California and Cleveland are going to be really crucial and fascinating, maybe in a sense more important than actually what goes on in Cleveland.
Are more traditional Republican insiders coming around to this idea of Trump as nominee, or is that just talk?
No, I think it's true. I mean, is it a big landslide? No, but I do think that there is a growing feeling. I think it's both a positive and a negative. As Trump continues to win and win by increasing margins, he got 60% of the vote in New York, I think that there is a growing, maybe not enthusiasm, but acceptance of Trump as the nominee. The sort of negative side is that I think that there's a concern, a growing concern about Trump coming to Cleveland with 1,100 delegates, 1,150 delegates, hundreds of delegates ahead of Cruz, and somehow you're going to take the nomination away from him. I understand he needs an absolute majority to get it, but that is going to be pretty ugly and pretty messy for the party if he's the guy that goes in with by far the most delegates and he doesn't get the nomination.
Yeah, it would be a mess. Chris, looking forward to the show this weekend, this Sunday on Fox News Sunday and your local Fox station. Chris has an interview with Paul Manafort, Donald Trump's campaign manager, or convention manager, I should say now. Also, the Florida Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz. chair of the Democratic National Committee. That ought to be good. That's this Sunday on Fox News Sunday. Check your local listings.